Hi, I'm Pete, and welcome to Just a Few Acres Farm. This morning, I'm a chimney sweep. We heat our house with just firewood. That's all, firewood we harvest from our woods. Keeping the chimney clean is important. Oh, we put this brush up the pipe and then we add sections as it goes up the chimney. When I was a kid, this house had 4 chimneys. There was one out of each gable end, and there's 3 gable ends on the house, one back there. And then there was a chimney in the kitchen wing that hung out the back, and they were real nice, ornate brick chimneys. Now, this house was originally built in the 1870s, and of course then they didn't have Portland cement mortar, so they used lime mortar for the chimneys. So by the time my grandfather was living in this house in the 70s, you could pull the bricks off the chimneys just by hand. In fact, he had a chimney fire right up there at the top of this wing when I was a kid, and the way the fire department came and put it out is they pulled the chimney apart till they got all the old creosote out. And then Grandpa built a concrete block chimney going straight up through and straight up the middle window. We tore that down when we redid the house. And of course, the old house was so drafty, you needed heat in every room. And in his later years, my grandfather confined himself really to just one room of the house, and he heated that one room, and that happened to be the room here where the chimney was that had the chimney fire. But now, since our house is so well insulated, we have a wood stove here in the front room, and it heats the whole house. It convection currents it sets up, you know, and the heat travels all around. It's really nice. It's a great way to heat your house, especially compared to what we used to pay for propane. Before I put in the wood stove, propane was costing us $400 a month in the winter. It'd probably be 3 times that now. This is the fun part and the reason I wear a hat when I do this. Knocking the creosote out of the top. Here it comes. And now by comparison, really, I mean, yes, you do have to pay for a stove and chainsaw and wood splitter and all that, but having all that cost behind us, it's just gasoline for the saw and the tractor and the wood splitter. We probably spend, I would guess, $10 a year on the fuel to make the firewood, and that's all. Well, maybe it's closer to 20 or 30 bucks this year. Gas is more expensive than it used to be. And to provide all that heat, we use between 10 and 15 face cord of firewood per winter. Depends on the winter, how cold it is. And that translates to 7 to 10 trips down to the woods, coming back with our yellow wagon full. And it's not that much work. Hillary and I cut a wagon load, split it and stack it in a few hours, and we do that 7 to 10 times, 7 to 10 mornings every year, and our heating needs are taken care of. What a nice sunny day. Hey, wait, there's something wrong here. Well, I guess we're only about a month and a half late. That's not too bad. Down, 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 down. Whoa. These solar panels are the pigs' neighbors. They're solar-powered pigs. Really? I don't know.
Yeah, they are.
Hey, it goes together, right? It's the subject of energy. These solar panels are 6.2 kilowatts, which means 6,200 watts at peak production, and they make about half of our electricity. They used to make all of our electricity on a net basis, but since we had the farm, we use a lot more electricity. Okay. We change the tilt on these twice a year on the, well, supposedly on the equinoxes in September and March. And these masts are made by PowerFab. I've had a lot of people ask, I don't even know if they're still in business. This system has got to be 14 years old now, I think. Okay. See that shading? Yeah, I know. It happens for a few hours in the morning, and it really stinks. I don't know why the installer put them in staggered like this. They'd be better if they were on a straight east-west axis, but that's the way it is. Back when we put these in, there weren't a lot of solar installations around, so I guess that was part of the learning curve. Now it's become much more standardized.
Ah! You did that on purpose! Oh that ladder. Can't work in these conditions.
I think our gutters are clogged. Huh.
Ah! I'm gonna get the cat.
Oh! This is kind of like playing a video game, Space Invaders.
Ah!
Can you march back and forth a little bit? Bump, 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 bump. This video brought to you by Gutter Guards. This old house has a lot of different roof lines and a lot of different gutters.
Unbelievable. You're in a risky position to be messing with me.
9.8 meters per second, all accelerating toward the top of Hillary's head.
See what I have to put up with? It's just awful.
This little walkway by our house here, this is your dogwood trees, and this is all wisteria up here on this pergola. All wisteria. And I'll tell you what, this stuff grows like a weed. Look, it's growing on the roof. Look at it all. We trim this back twice a year, but still, the vines wind through everything. So it all has to be cut back again and again. Oh my gosh. Look at this roof. It's 15 years old. It looks like it's 30 years old. My memory is these are GAF shingles, and I know from my old job that roof warranties aren't worth the paper they're written on. I'm just gonna have to replace this. It really stinks. It should have lasted twice this long. And we gotta go up here. Look at that. Look at that. That is quite a hornet's nest. It was huge. I knocked it down last year, I think, but they started building it back up. Why are you holding a pumpkin?
This pumpkin is our only pumpkin that grew out in the old pink pen.
You know, whenever we work on the house, like, you know, this kind of stuff piles up on us now since we're so busy with the farm all the time. But it reminds me there was 10 years where pretty much all I thought about was the house.
Yeah, well, it was a long time coming, and it was a lot of work, and you know, now we suffer from feelings of inadequacy because we can't really keep up with everything, and it's just,
yeah,
you know, it's difficult.
Sometimes I think about how much work I put in the house. I mean, it was like every day when I got home from work at my old job, and every weekend, all weekend, I would work on building this house. You probably seen, I put a set of videos together, and if I'd had this YouTube channel 20 years ago, it would have been all about redoing the house because that was all it was. I'll put up a picture of what it looked like before we started in case you haven't seen it. It was a lot of work.
Oh, it sure was.
Now we have almost zero time to keep up with maintenance on it because the farm just takes it all.
Oh, gosh.
Well, you know, all this housework is making me kind of hungry. So I'm going to make a family favorite for dinner tonight, kind of a staple. I just, you know, want to get everything ready so that it's easy to do later on. Oh, guess I need to buy some more charcoal. Well, enough all that housework. We do have some animals to take care of. Looks like I'm late to the party out here, though. That's all the eggs for today?
Yeah, not very many.
A couple dozen. Here's an update on the turkeys. Turkeys are gone. Broilers, well, they're gone too. All these boxes are empty. And as for laying hens, you'll notice that we have significantly less diversity in the flock out here. Rhode Island Reds and White Leghorns, that's all that's left. Hillary and I finished stew hens. There's a little over 100 of them left out here. That's less than half of what we had. And probably this weekend when the kids are home from school, we're gonna move them into the winter house. It's that time. And then we can pick up all this furniture that's out here and draw it in and let the cattle graze off this field. The grass is pretty tall in here. That'll give them an extra couple days. Here's the best way to see how tall it is. That side's been grazed by the cattle. This side hasn't been. I'm going down to see the cattle. They're way down there in the corner headed toward me. You probably can't even see it with the sun against the camera. But I'm gonna open some gates for them. We're gonna open up this 5 acres. They got 5 acres down there. So we'll open this up. Well, come on cows, I got a new field for you. Patty's in the lead. Come on, guys. My neighbor's running the generator on his dryer here. He's harvested almost all of his soybeans, I'll bet, by now. Come on, cows. Come on, cows. You're stuck. They only go in a straight line, you know. Come on, cows. You can do it. Patty, you're so fat you can barely walk. Come on, cows. The union rep. You want to follow me? You'd just rather yell at me. You're not hungry enough, I guess. Come on, guys. Now you got the idea. Look at how round she is. Patty, you need to go on Weight Watchers. Let's go. You're all piling up. Here they are, all lined up. We're going right into here, guys. Right in. There you go. Obviously, they're not terribly hungry because they're kind of lollygagging. Rusty. Well, Carrie's pulling up the rear as usual, and her calf. So now they have 10 acres available to them to roam as they will. I'm going to open up another 5 acres, let them roam for 5 days, and then bring them in and start feeding hay in the winter pasture. And then after the poultry field's cleaned up, they'll get a couple days of grass on there, and that's it for the year. Yep. These are our 4 cull heifers in the barn. All 21 heifers, 2021 Peanut and through, I don't remember their names, but they're going to the butcher next year. So the deal with these ladies is they stay in here until April of next year eating hay, and then they go out on pasture after the bulls are separated when we put the rest of the herd out on pasture, and so they finish on pasture before they go to the butcher. And of course we have the brood pigs in here. Hey Red, you guys have been messing with your water dish. How are you doing, lady? Yeah. I gotta get your water dish, Red. There you go. Well, are you gonna drink? You'd rather play with the water. Miss Brownie, how are you? Oh, let's get your dish. You're standing in it. You gotta move. You gotta move. There you go. We gotta wash out your dish. Here we go, Brownie. Hey, Red, what's your feed situation? Yeah, John hasn't been eating very much. Well, at least you can have a good meal. And Miss Brownie. Hey, you chickens. My stomach is telling me that it's almost time for dinner. Let's get the grill lit. There we go. Where are those troublemakers? Hey, you pigs. All right, you jokers, watch out. Hillary would say it's like all-you-can-eat shrimp night at the Old Country Buffet. That's what she'd say. You guys are pigs. You're the bossy one. Well, you asked for it. People say that pigs make good plows, and I've said that too, but I don't really think so. I mean, if you want to turn all the rocks that are in the first 6 inches of the soil up to the top of the ground, they're real good at that, but this is hard pan. I mean, they do root up the ground, but it packs down harder than ever, I think. So if you're going to use pigs to plow, you'll know what rocks you have, that's for sure. I was looking at this spot right here. There's some grass growing in here, and I was like, why is that way? And if we go over here, there's another spot, just like the first one. It's round, and it's got grass growing in it. Why haven't the pigs eaten that? Here's the answer. These 2 spots are the pigs' 2 bathrooms. So if you look in this grass, there's lots of pig duty in here. They designate bathrooms. They probably designated this back when they were just little pigs and kept it. That's why the grass is still growing in here. We got pig duty all over the place in here. Yep. But if you look through the moonscape here, no pig duty, just dirt. Pigs always designate a bathroom area. When we raise our winter batches in the three-sided barn, there's always one corner that they always go to the bathroom in. They kind of leave that alone. They don't root around in there. And same thing happens out here. They don't root in their bathroom. So the grass is growing. There's enough for all you guys. No need to be pigs. You're the bossy one. You're the one that's always after me. And somebody asked in the last video, how bad does this all smell? Doesn't smell at all, actually. No smell. When we clean out the pig pens in the barn, yeah, they smell. I don't like the smell of pig poop very much, but this, no smell. No smell thing. These pigs are drinking about 55 gallons of water here every 2 days. Well, they don't drink it all. They waste a fair amount of it, but that's what it is. I'm filling it up every other day. Oh, bossy pig's coming to get a drink. Or to bother me. She always comes and bothers me when I'm filling the water. What? What are you doing? Why you bother me so much? Don't bite my boot, bossy pig. She does have some nice hams, though. Pigs are sloppy drinkers. You are. You're a sloppy drinker. It's time to make dinner. This is really good beef from this farm called Just a Few Acres ground beef. Oh man, it is the best. My whole family loves it. We've got 4 burgers, 3 kids, 1 wife, and 1 daddy burger. Half pound. These are about 1/3 pound. My fire's a little poopy, but it should be alright. It's hot as usual. I like a hot fire. These burgers have Montreal steak seasoning on them. It's just my go-to. Everybody in the family likes it, so that's what we do. I time cook burgers, so I know from my grill that takes about 7.5 or 8 minutes with a cool fire here on a side to do my burgers. It's just as simple as that. I set the timer on my phone, and 7.5 minutes later I come back and flip them. 7.5 minutes later, they're done. Give them a flip. I always use tongs to flip burgers, and they flip easily. And I never squeeze them when they're cooking because you want that moisture to stay in, which means you get kind of roundy patties, but that's okay. These are done. Let's pull them off. Sun's setting. It's good. Cooking in the dark is no fun with my headlight on. And this is our dinner. I'm not going to taste test it for you because you have to preserve the integrity of the burger so that when you break it open on the bun, it gets nice and juicy and into the bun. And of course, we eat these with tater tots. You got to have tater tots with burgers. And dollar for dollar, ground beef is the best bargain we have. It is so delicious. So I'm going to wrap these up, and that wraps up my video. This is going to be the time of the year where we can catch up on other things, like much needed work for the house, working on the tractor sometimes, which brings me to the reason I haven't put up a Super C restoration video lately is I'm waiting for tires. They're supposed to be here tomorrow. So hopefully that'll happen and I can get back to work on that. I hope you have a great day. I'm going in to eat. I'll see you next time. Just FYI, 'tis the season of beautiful sunsets around here too. When is it not?